Hi everyone, this is Mr. Book 451 at outlook.com, welcoming you to my 5th YouTube video. And today, this one is all about penguin books. I've got a very nice selection of what are some very rare penguin crime, going right through the wartime, many of them in dust wrapper and pre-war. So two nice stacks to offer today. Everything you see in the video is for sale. I also have a little bit of general sort of fiction literature to go through and some science fiction. Now, if you are interested in anything that you see in this video, every book you see is for sale, providing it hasn't already sold, obviously. But if you like anything or want more information, you want more pictures or whatever you want, just to know about a payment plan or anything like that, just give me a message by email. It's much easier to do by email than on the YouTube. It's very nice to get comments on YouTube, and thank you to everyone who's done that already for me and subscribed. And please subscribe if you haven't already done so. But I don't look at it every day, whereas my email I look at least once or twice a day, maybe 3 or 4 times a day. So it's Mr. Book 451, that's MR Book 451 at outlook.com. And just send me a message. I also have, for the penguin crime, a list that I have typed up that's on a one-page Word document, which I'm happy to send out if you want to forward it onto somebody, or you just want it for your reference to look at and compare with what you might have in your collection. I know sometimes when you're watching a video, you desperately try and remember what's in there, but if you want to compare what I'm offering with what you've got in your own collection, you may just email and say, send me a copy of the Word document, please, and you can print that out. Okay, let's get cracking. I'm going to try and be reasonably swift. I've taken most of the books, well, all the books apart from one, out of their protective bags, just so that we can get this going. Okay, first book to offer is The Penguin Story. This one is obviously a very well-known book if you're a penguin collector. Got £3 on this one. It's a bit of a worn copy. This would be quite useful just as a working copy, rather than a collector's copy if you wanted to annotate. It has got a list of all the early penguins in there. So it's quite a good sort of checklist, and very nice picture of a dashing young man on the back smoking a pipe in a shop. In a bookshop. I mean, that is quite bizarre today. Fantastic. Great stuff. Right, let's start. Let's start with some science fiction. Okay. Sirius, Olaf Stapleton. I'm just going to stand up to make sure that where the book is, yeah, it's about there, is in the middle of the picture. Sirius by Olaf Stapleton. Nice, crisp copy, little bit of aging, but very nice clean spine. Dust soiling just to the edges, about average condition for this book, I would think. Sort of VG plus, £4. Okay, and that is, pretty sure, a first printing. I will try and tell you for every book if it's a first printing. Yeah, first printing 64. Then we come on to some Wyndham's. Obviously, John Wyndham, synonymous with Penguin Books. They published most of his stuff in the 50s first. The later editions by Coronet are quite fun, but I mean, you just think of him in Penguin. There we are, 1960, The Midwich Cuckoos, £8. Reasonably nice. The spine has a little crease at the bottom. It doesn't look creased all the way up, although it's very slightly rolled. Very slightly, but again, nice crisp, bit of aging. So an average condition VG, I'd say, and I've got £8 on that one. Obviously, all prices need to have postage added, the dreaded postage, and if you're inquiring or thinking of inquiring from the States, whatever the value of the book, you can almost double it for postage. So if it's a £4 book, it's probably going to cost £4 to post. If you have 3 £4 books, they're probably going to be the best part of £12 to £15 to post. It's getting crazy. Trouble with Lichen, £4. Let's just double check that one. Come on. I remember reading this, goodness, when I was at school. 63. Well, I wasn't at school in 63. I was still a toddler. Reading crease, 1 and 6 on the front. So it's a kind of good copy. Just about collectible. It's not terribly badly creased, but rolled on the spine. Aged everywhere else, but it's, what is it, £4. Seeds of Time. This one's sort of similar condition, maybe slightly better. Again, feels nice and sharp, nice and kind of crisp. It's got a 50-cent sticker down there, which looks as if that's been applied in the States. Although, who knows? Probably Jules Burt knows, but I don't. Little crease on the back. So again, sort of average-ish condition VG. I've got the one at 8. It's kind of VG, bordering on VG plus, but VG. There we are, first published 59. I'm going to speed up a little bit because we've got a lot to get through today. David Triffids. This is not a first printing. This is £4. It's a nice copy. It's a reprint from 1960. Bit of aging, but not too much in the way of creasing. A little bit of aging on the top edge there, but it still look reasonably nice and tight. What have I got on that? £4, I think. Yeah, £4 on that one. Quid is English speak £4, so 4 English pounds. Now we come into a slightly different kettle of fish. This is the beautiful copy of The Drowned World, one of J.G. Ballard's classics. It is a lovely copy. It is certainly VG plus, if not near fine. I'll just tilt it there so you can see the crisp. I didn't take it out of the bag and board because I just don't want to risk damaging it every time I take it out and put it back in and take it out and put it back in. But if you would like photos of it out of the bag, please just let me know and I'll do that for you. That's £30. It's just one of those that is now becoming very tough to find in really sort of top condition. This got Ballard in as well, Connoisseurs SF by Tom Boardman. So this is actually a really good collection in a nice condition, certainly VG plus. Got £4 on this, some aging to the edges, but nothing really in the way of creasing. This is 1964. Again, reasonably nice and tight. Penguin 2223 on that one. I should have given you the numbers on the other one. Selected Tales of Angela and Blackwood. This is a reprint. It's Penguin 393, but it is a reprint. It's £4. This is a reprint from, I think it's the early 60s. This one was it late 50s. Oh no, reprinted 48. Oh right, so it's an early reprint. First published 43, reprinted. Collection of stories, weird stories, weird ghosty type stories. Right, let's go to some general fiction. This one is an early one. This is a Penguin, Helen Ashton, Dr. Suracold. This one has a wrapper. Now, the good thing about having a wrapper, this number 22, is that, of course, it means the book underneath is actually in really lovely condition, considering its age. The wrapper is okay, as you can see. It's not too bad. It does have a sticker pull on the front. In fact, a couple of sticker pulls and some edge wear, a little bit of fading on the spine. But actually, that's not the worst copy in the world you're going to find. That's £6 I put on that one. A little bit of re-gluing needing there. And that is first published 1935, is it? Or 36? 36. 1936. And that's just £6. Okay. And now on some H.E. Bates, Colonel Julian and other stories. Really nice tight copy this. This is the first £8. That is first published Penguin Books 55. 1955, that is a really nice sharp copy, number 1093. And look at that, beautiful, sharp, crisp copy. Not too much in terms of aging, a little bit of aging on the spine, but, you know, for a book that's 75 years old, that's not too bad. Jacaranda Tree, H.E. Bates. Again, similar, maybe not quite as nice. 1034. But again, really nice crisp copy, what we call crisp, and that is 55 again. I think these came from the same collection actually. So not too much in the way of marking, a little bit of rubbing to the orange there at the sides, but pretty good, pretty good. I went to, the reason I haven't done a video for a couple of weeks is we went away to French France for a few days. We'd heard about this thing they have called wine, and we found it to be most agreeable. So well done to the French. Thumbs up to the French for inventing something called wine. Lovely. 1602, this one, H.E. Bates, The Darling Buds of May. This is not a first, I don't think, or it might be actually. Look at that, so it is, 1961. That's why I put £6 on it. A little bit of aging, but pretty nice spine. It's just got a kind of little bit of warping to the book. But once that's sandwiched in with some other books, that will be nice. Probably their most famous H.E. Bates, wasn't it? Made into that series on TV that was actually quite annoying, I think, with, who's it? David Jason, wasn't it? Mar and Pa Larkin, all that lot. There's another copy, not as good. This one's £3. Did I tell you what the other one was? I can't remember, so I'll have to have a look. I think it was 6. Yeah, put 6 on that one, 3 on that one. Albert Camus, The Exile and the Kingdom. This one's for our French France viewers. 1865, this one, Albert Camus. Really nice, sharp copy, £4 on this one. There we are, let's get to the... Published in Penguin Books, 1962. Really, really nice. A little bit aged on the top, but no fading there. On the spine, sorry about the cough. I've been doing a lot of gardening today. And when I say gardening, I mean it's sort of like clearance. You know, huge great bushes that needed chopping down. And all the kind of dust from the bushes has gone right in my lungs. Oh, I'm not going to pronounce this one. It's Robert Louis Stevenson. Virginibus Pirisk. I didn't go to a public school, so I've no idea how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Anyway, I've got a sticker on the front, look there, unfortunately. Robert Louis Stevenson. It's Penguin Books, 1 shilling 548. Not a bad copy. Certainly VG. Nice photograph of him. How they managed to photograph him, I've no idea. I'm joking, it's not a photograph, it's obviously an illustration. Penguin Books, 1946. Actually, that's quite nice, isn't it? There's a purple one. Purple. It's the only purple one you're going to see. Cakes and ale. That's more like it. Let's get some ale. But I'm quite fond of cakes as well, if I'm honest. 651. This is £4. What's that? 1948. Look. This got a little bit more in terms of sort of, I don't know, aging and spotting on the cover there. Not too bad, a little bit of a fading on the spine. It's a kind of good, I would say, that one. Yeah. Did I tell you what Robert Louis Stevenson was? I should get better at this. £4. I should get better at this, but I'm not very good at it. Okay. Let's have another sip of this non-alcoholic wine. And let's go to the crime. So we're going to start in no particular order, but this is Murder on the Links. I'm just going to check again that I've got this in about the right place. Good. Okay, Murder on the Links. This is quite a classic one. It says Penguin 6. You'll know the history of the numbering of this, and is it really number 6 and all that, and all that, and all that. It's got the dust wrapper there. So there is some internal repair to the dust wrapper involving mostly the spine, which is mostly there. There's some sort of aged tape that's not sticky, but it's just holding that. The main problem is we've got about half of the spine missing there, but then you have got most of the spine present on there. So it's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You know, it's just one of those iconic books, 1936. I've got £120 on this one. So this is 120. Has been really rising in value just recently. So not too bad. A collectible copy. Not in top shape, but if it was top shape, it wouldn't be £120. Mr. Fortune Please by H.C. Bailey, again with the dust wrapper. Let me just remove that for you. And again, you can see that the book is in really nice condition because it's been protected by that wrapper. So the wrapper has some aging, mainly to the spine, which is normal, of course, because it's the spine that sticks out on the shelf and takes most of the sun damage. So actually, after that length of time, to have the dust wrapper still present is quite good. Nice and clean then for the actual book. I'll just put that back round the book. And as I said before, if you want kind of better, other pictures of these with the back cover off and what have you, let me do that for you on this one. I can't do it on everyone because it would take too long, but there we are. You get the idea. And this one is as well £120. Okay, let me just go to the publication page. There we are, 1936, first Penguin edition. Okay. Then we have an Edgar Wallace, The Four Just Men. Again, really benefiting from that dust wrapper, which does have a split in it, a few nicks, a little bit of loss at the head and heel of spine. I think on the back that's just rolled over. Yeah, that can be pulled back. So that's not too bad, but it does mean it's a beautiful Penguin 64 copy of the actual book. There is one fault with this that I must point out. That is a stab. There is a stab on this book that goes through the cover, actually through the first cover and goes through the book, but it misses the text. So goodness knows what's happened to that, but it does go quite a long way through. It's not too bad. It just sits there and it is what it is. This is £100. So if you're interested in that, with the wrapper, it does have again a little split there on the spine fold. For these Penguin crimes that are a little bit more sort of collectible and quite dear, I will with pleasure do a little film if somebody is seriously interested just in one book, just to give you a bit more of an idea. And of course, if anybody is looking at this and thinking, wow, there's several here that I need for my collection, just email me. We might be able to meet up somewhere, depending on where you live. I'm in the south, I'm in Dorset Bob. But, we may be able to meet up and have a look at them, have a little meet. So this one's got a little bit of damage to the wrapper. It's probably not as good as some of the others. Hound of the Baskervilles. £70 on this one. But again, all these are first printings. This is 1937, first printing with a wrapper. So sort of fair to good. Probably more like fair, actually. But there we go. Okay. Richard F. Cavern. Forgive my ignorance, Cavern. The Havering Plot. Now the Havering Plot, I've got this one at £75. Again, this is one that has benefited hugely, 127, from having that wrapper. There's just a little bit of a closed tear that needs to be folded back. A little bit of, this is what I was saying about that. This is what you always get with these early paperback dust wrappers, because that spine panel is the one that's exposed to the light, of course, most. And therefore that takes all the damage, that gets weakened. And that's why you start to get those splits and the nicks and the tears. And obviously when books are moved, they get knocked top and bottom. But it does its job. It means that the book underneath is actually really quite nice. And the paper that's used for these wrappers is so thin. I mean, they were almost meant to be taken off and thrown away. Those were the That's what I always led to believe about early hardcovers from the 30s, 20s and 30s, that the wrappers were purely just a marketing tool. They used to have adverts on the back cover of them, and they were there to be, you know, handled in the shop, and then when you took them home, you took the wrappers off and threw them away. 1938, there we are. Okay, so the Havering plot is £75. Okay, need to speed up a little bit. 10-minute alibi, this one is 50. This one again, similar sort of condition. Pull that over, this one has got quite a long closed tear, but again, really quite nice, 131. A little bit leaned, this one, does have a spine lean, but really nice, crisp, sharp colours, and that is 131. And just check the printing on that. Yep, that's 38, and that is a first. The House on Tollard Ridge, John Road, and this one is £130. Again, there's the dust wrapper. Yeah, a little bit better condition, this one, because the stock is seems a little bit better quality. There is just a little bit of discoloration there, slight lean, but not too bad at all. Nice crisp green. Again, dust wrapper could be probably do with just a little bit of restoration, but I know a lot of collectors don't like to do that. They like to just keep the books in the way that they are, and that's absolutely fine. It's up to the individual, isn't it? 1938, that one. Super. C. Daly King, Obelisk at Sea, number 160. Similar sort of condition, maybe a little bit nicer, this one. Just take that off. Again, weak hinge on that front flap. But look at that, isn't that lovely? 160. And again, that problem we get with the spine, but you know, unless they've been in a box since the 1930s, you just not, I don't think you're going to find them in a lot better condition than this. Unless they've been in a collection, even if they've been on the bookshelf, they're going to be, you know, suffering from that. And this is £130. There we are, 1938. So I am showing you some of the rarest penguins you're going to see. This is, sorry, I'm just making sure I'm doing this in the right order. Obelisk at Sea, Oxford Tragedy is the next one. Okay, Oxford Tragedy. This was the collection, by the way, that had the one Death on the Borough Council that Jules Burt needed to finish his first 1,000 penguins. You've probably seen his YouTube channel where he talks about the moment that I phoned him when he was out with his wife. I think they were at a wedding, and I phoned him. I said, Jules, I think I might have found that book you're looking for. And he was so thrilled. This is 220, an Oxford Tragedy. Really nice, sharp copy, this one. And look at that, the dust wrapper's pretty good. What have I got on this one? Oxford Tragedy. This is 150. Now this one is one that you're probably not going to ever upgrade. That is a really nice copy, just a little bit of lean, but really that is about as good as you're going to get for this period. An Oxford Tragedy. There we go. Now this is where I'm going wrong. So this is Death in Ecstasy is the next one. By Nagayo Marsh. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, Nagayo, but that's what I've always been led to believe. I remember my mum was a big fan of Nagayo Marsh. That and Agatha Christie, we used to have all those Fontanas and read those. This one has a significant loss to the front flap. It has staining inside. I mean, the wrapper's there, but it's not brilliant. It's 249, this one. There's some spine lean, but again, the dust wrapper's done its job. It's a nice, sharp, coloured copy. I put this as good, spined lean with section slightly pushed out, edges aged and worn. Dust wrapper stained and aged with nibbling down the foredge of the flaps. 75 for that one. Okay, that's one that, is again one of those authors that Now, what have I done here? I'm doing this wrong. Sorry about this. I'm not a professional YouTuber. There we are. The Case of the Late Pig, Marjorie Allingham. There's another name that is very synonymous with crime at this period. 276. This one has no wrapper. 276, and this is 1940. Okay, some wear to the head and heel and to the spine edges, but again, not too bad really. Reasonably nice and tight, good green on it, and this one is 75. Okay, now at the Blue Gates we have 2 copies of this. So the first one, this is good to very good. It does need some re-gluing. I think this one is the good to very good, sorry. Let me just check. Where are we? At the base, spinal little age. Yeah, this is the one that has a signature inside. It's got a little bit of pen marks inside. Where are we? Let me just check. This is the first printing. Yes, the first printing of 1940. This one is the good to very good. So slightly aged on the spine because it doesn't have that wrapper protecting it. But actually, once you get within sort of 2 or 3 millimeters of the edge, the paper quality is actually not too bad. Because that's wartime paper. And again, nice crisp to the back. A penguin specialist would tell you whether that actually had a dust wrapper originally or not. That one I've got at 100. This one I've got at 60. This one needs a bit of re-gluing, but actually is not too bad. It's again quite solid. All the signatures are the sections of the paper. They're actually quite, tight into the book, into the spine. There's nothing loose there. It's just the glue has got a bit aged and just needs a bit of help. There's a little bit of rub down the bottom there. But again, for a wartime penguin, that's not too bad. Murder in Hospital, this one, 140 I've got on this, so 140. A little bit of foxing towards the very edges of the paper. And first published in Penguin 1940. A little bit of a roll on that spine, a little bit of wear across there. The rear cover is okay, a little bit of marking. So again, sort of an average copy of this one, I suppose. But again, scarce really in any condition. Half Past Murder, Millwood Kennedy. This is a scarce one, I think. This I've got as good to very good. Spine edges aged and slightly rubbed, otherwise tight and crisp. Paper quality inside pretty good. 1940. That one is 300. One of the slimmer volumes. They're all getting slimmer now because of wartime paper rationing, paper restrictions. This one is a beautiful copy, really. 337, Jumping Jenny by Anthony Berkeley. Yes, foxing on the first few pages, but nothing after that. 1941, wartime paper quality, but actually really good considering the quality of that paper is so poor. And very little in the way of creasing and marking. So Jumping Jenny, really one of the high spots, I would say, in terms of condition, and that is just £75. Okay. Another one that's really quite nice, Murder of My Patient, not quite as nice, a little bit of wear to the heel and the head of the spine with some closed tears, small closed tears, but not too bad. I've got this, what have I said about this one? Murder of My Patient, good to very good, spine edges worn with small closed tears, head and heel, but minimal loss. And that is £250. That is one of the very scarce ones, 1941. There we are. Okay. The Silk Stocking Murders. We've just got 4 to go now. Silk Stocking Murders. Anthony Berkeley again. Berkeley. Nice and tight. 368. Nice
crisp green on that. Previous owner's signature there, looks like McCrew or something. Wouldn't it be nice if it was the author, but it's not. There we are. 1941. Again, the sort of very outer is showing some aging, but once you get into the actual paper there, it's really survived quite well. The staple's just very slightly rusty, but nothing too bad. They're not bleeding through the cover or into the paper. There's no real major creases on that. So really, that is a very, very nice one. The Silk Silk and I've got very good to near fine, very mild aging, rubs to edges, small nick to head of spine. Just there, you can see small nick, and I've got 300 on that one. And that is a book which, you know, I don't think you're going to find a better copy quickly. Now this is getting on to those ones where the covers now start to be of a lesser quality. I think Penguin were just using whatever paper they could get by this stage. A bullet in the ballet. Again, that means that there's more rubbing to the spine because of the lesser quality. So a bullet to the ballet is 377 from 1942. I've got this is good to very good. Edges worn. Light surface crease to cover top right corner. So there's some very light creases on that top right corner there. And there's rubbing just to the edges. Bullet in the ballet. And that is £50. Why is that so cheap? Look at that. So a little bit of foxing at the very edges, but real wartime paper feel to that one. Okay, 2 to go. Flowers for the Judge, Marjorie Allingham. Again, one of my mum's favourites, Marjorie Allingham. Some creasing down that right-hand corner. I've got this is good, lightly worn, aged. Bottom corner creased, but again, nice and tight. It's had a little bit of a glue repair down the bottom. It's Penguin 459. Again, a little bit of spotting or misting coming through on there. Let's just have a look at the inside back. Yeah, it's got a little bit of showing its age. I'm probably showing my age. But there we are. Flowers for the Judge. I think that's kind of a good copy. That's 325. Okay. That's 1944. £325. Flowers for the Judge. Okay. Final one. Leave the best till last. Never Come Back. John Mayer. Originally 9p. God, if we had a time machine. 470 this one. I've got this one as a good, solid good copy. Light wear, some foxing to the edges. Spine edges just a little bit rubbed. A little bit of nibbling at the bottom. And there's a little bit of a repair to that foot. You can see there, the spine is complete, but just a little bit of wear there. Little chip to the top. And again, a little bit of wear, but it is reasonably square. It's not a bad copy at all. It's a good copy, I would say, for that book. There's no major losses to it. And this is one of the very scarce ones from the end of the war, 1944, and that is £500. And that's it. These are, I would think, one of the, I mean, they're the rarest penguins I've offered for sale. They've got to go. They're there to be sold. As I say, if there's anything you'd like to know more about, just send me an email, mrbook451@outlook.com. Thank you for watching this. I've got another couple planned. My next one is probably going to be a Robert E. Howard. I've got some hardcovers, some nice limited edition hardcovers. I've got some beautiful paperbacks and other bits and pieces. I've also got a Doc Savage sort of pulp reprint, one in the pipeline. And they should come more regularly now that we're out of the holiday season. So there we are. Thank you for watching this one. Sorry if it went on a little bit, and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks so much. Bye now. Bye.